Hi everyone, today I'm going to show you another fun project that you can do with kids that we recently did at our summer camp. And all you need to create these beautiful pieces of art is watercolor paper, a bowl of water, a paintbrush, and then you need tissue paper that bleeds. And I've cut mine into 1 inch by 1 inch squares and 2 inch by 1 inch rectangles. The first thing you want to do is you want to wet your watercolor paper, and you can just do that by dipping your brush into the water and spreading it around. You can do the entire surface, but depending on how quickly or slowly you work, you may have to add more water as you go in case your paper dries out. This is going to help the tissue start to bleed its color onto the paper. And you can do all kinds of things with this project. You can just do random colors, or you can do patterns or designs. The stripes seem to turn out really cool. You could see I did one that was sort of like a rainbow, but you could also just pick some colors that you like and do stripes. And then again, if your paper dries out, you just want to keep wetting that. So for this one, I think I'll just place random colors. You can already see the color starting to bleed from that piece. Now it looks like I have all squares so far, but maybe I'll throw in a rectangle. And what I did to cut the tissue paper is I put it onto a self-healing mat and used a rotary cutter. But if you don't have those materials, you can always just cut this by hand with scissors. Another thing that you can do as you go along, or you can wait till the end, is you want to wet the top of the tissue as well. And that'll just ensure that the color comes off the tissue and onto the paper. And I'm getting a little dry here, so I'm going to add some more water as I go. This is a great project for kids, especially in the summer, because they just love to play with water. So this is a great way for them to get a chance to do that without making too much of a mess. This is also a good one to do outside if you have an area that you can work outside. Oop, I think I got 2 there. All right, so I'm not sure that I covered the tops of all of these. Oop, and you can see how the color's coming out of this green one that I accidentally picked up with my brush. So I'm gonna put him back down. So I'm just going back over some of these to make sure that I got some water on top of them as well. And again, you can do that as you go along or wait till the end. And the more water you apply, the more the colors will bleed into each other. So if you kind of want them to stay where they are, you don't want to use quite as much water. If you use a lot of water, you'll get a lot of bleed and a lot of mixing of the colors that are next to each other. So now all you have to do is let this dry, and you can let it dry on its own or put it out in the sun. But if you want to speed up the process, then you can get out a hair dryer and use a hair dryer to blow it dry. And once the tissue paper dries, it's just kind of going to start blowing off of the paper, which is fine. You just want to toss those anyway at the end, and we'll see what we're left with when we're done. So here's what our finished product looks like, and you can see the different effects that you'll get depending on how much water and how long each color is left to sit before you start drying. So up here it looks like I had more water to begin with and more on top, and it also sat the longest because that's where I started. So it's bled a little more up there. And then here I probably had less water and the tissue sat for a little bit less time. So there's these splotches of white, which is kind of cool. And you can see where it runs together as well. So play around with this, different patterns, designs, amounts of water. You can see some of the other effects that you can get. This one bled together a lot with just different color pinks, and you get a cool tie-dye effect. And then this one, it didn't have quite so much water over here. I stuck with just a few colors on this one, the purples and the blues and the pinks. So that looks kind of cool. And then this one was stripes in sort of a rainbow color. And I was also thinking it might be fun to go back over these with black Sharpie or silver Sharpie, and you could draw some designs or add some other things to it. So maybe I'll try that in the future. I hope that you enjoyed today's video and that you will give this a try either for yourself or with your kids. Please like and subscribe to my channel and leave me any questions or comments below. Have a great day.